Over the last couple of weeks, the XRP community has been in a bit of a tough spot, as of course crypto has been pumping, yet XRP's price hasn't been performing that well. And in today's video, I want to talk about why I believe most people are looking at XRP's price from the wrong perspective, and why I think most people are actually wrong about what XRP is doing right now. And so, with that said, look, we have a good bit to unpack today, so let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. And guys, do not forget that if you want to trade a little bit of XRP yourself today on all the way up to 100 to 500x leverage, which is absolutely insane, head to the link to the description down below and go check out BTCC. Guys, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000. That could be up to $10,000 in completely free money for you to start trading with today. So head to that link down below and go check it out. Now, looking at XRP, okay, what we're going to be focusing in on is what its price is doing. Because again, a lot of people are looking at these last couple of weeks. I mean, realistically, this is from January of 2025 to now. A lot of people are looking at this in a negative way. They're like, XRP is dead. It's boring. It's going back into that sideways channel that it had been in. It lost its momentum. I mean, a whole bunch of things. And I want to talk about why, although it may feel that way, a lot more is happening with XRP right now than you may realize. Because that's what a lot of people feel, right? That it's just boring. Nothing is happening. And I'm sure you're seeing that as well over on Twitter, over on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, right? Nothing's happening. XRP is boring. That's not the case. And let me show you why. There are actually three major things that are happening right now from just a price perspective for XRP that I believe entail that it's actually doing a lot. And what it's doing right now could be setting the XRP community up for some pretty solid gains here in the future. Now, the very first thing that it's doing is seeing a full reset on what's called the RSI. Now, the RSI is an indicator that you can use to gauge the momentum, right? The relative strength of a crypto asset. And oftentimes, whenever the RSI gets up into this green zone up here, in other words, above the 70 level, you're getting too high, right? Things are getting too crazy. They're going too high too fast. And you're going to need to see it slow down, because if it doesn't slow down, you're going to see a huge crash. And what actually ended up happening is that, yeah, in the beginning of December, XRP started pushing way too high, way too fast. And this was a massive threat for XRP, because when something like this happens, you were now at an immediate risk of some sort of huge crash for the price, which of course XRP was, at risk of. But what ended up happening was something very good. XRP's price started just casually slowing down. We put in a high, we put in this next high, but as we put in this next high right here, we started getting signs of bearish divergence for the RSI, which means that the price was slowing down. But the great part about it is that the price was slowing down in a little bit more of a stable way. We weren't seeing some sort of huge crash, some sort of huge pullback. No, XRP's price was just casually gliding sideways. And that's what it's continued to do. And as it's continued to glide sideways, the RSI has now reached back to what's called the 50% threshold, which is a massive level of support, and historically could very well possibly hold up XRP's price like it has many times in the past, like here, and here. And so it is under my belief that we are currently seeing XRP seeing a full current reset here on the RSI, which could open itself up for, of course, a move to the upside if its RSI does want to try to give a rally here. And so with that in mind, I think this is very, very good. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. Now, the very next thing that I am noticing is that XRP is actually doing what's called an RS flip right now. And an RS flip goes like this. Previously, in 2021, we saw XRP set a massive point of resistance back here, in which it was basically the top of the 2021 move before seeing another capitulation down to 30 cents. Well, what you have to understand is that this is a major point of resistance. I mean, this is a huge, huge, huge bearish territory. And what ended up happening recently is that in December and January, XRP just smashed through that resistance zone, absolutely tore through it. Now, the beautiful part about it is that now that XRP's price has flipped this previous point of resistance to being below us, it is now going to serve as a support zone. And what XRP is doing right now is trying to flip that resistance zone into that support level and use the support level to continue upwards. And so there is currently a massive battle happening right now between the bulls and, of course, the bears, in which the bears are trying to force the XRP's price through this point of support, and the bulls are trying to hold above it. And right now, as of the recording of this video, the bulls are winning. We had this moment where, of course, we pushed down into the red zone. We pushed back up. We had another moment. We pushed down into the red zone. We pushed back up. And this is a sign that the bulls are stepping in mass whenever we hit this key level of support. And that's a sign that just like the RSI resetting, we might see XRP's price try to get a pump off the support level. And we would actually have a good foundation of support to maybe even pursue as high as $5.33. And the very last thing that XRP is doing that I think is one of the most important things that signals that what I'm talking about in this video could be true is seeing a reset on the Bollinger Bandwidth. Now, without getting super technical, the Bollinger Bandwidth is an indicator that you can use to predict when volatility is going to pick up. Now, volatility just means the chart is going to get crazy. And what this indicator shows is that when this blue line is going down, things are getting more stable, things are getting less crazy. And whenever this blue line is going up, it means that things are getting more crazy. And what we can see here is that XRP's blue line, or its Bollinger Bandwidth, has been going down, 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 meaning it saw a huge reset, a huge cool down from what we saw back here. And it's now getting very close to this key level of support on the Bollinger Bandwidth, which historically we bounce off of. Looky here, I mean, we bounced there, we bounced there, we bounced there, we bounced all these times right here, we bounced all the way back here. Look at this bounce right here, this bounce right here. Every single time that XRP sees a huge bounce in volatility or its price starts getting really crazy, is generally off of this 33 to 35% threshold. And that's where we're getting close to right now for XRP. And what that tells me is that we very well might see XRP's price give us some sort of big move soon. And considering the fact that our RSI is back at the 50% threshold, the fact that our support level is holding up right now, it could imply that XRP is going to try to make a move upwards off of this support. And so it obviously doesn't guarantee it, but it definitely means that something is happening. And we're seeing a huge battle right now between the bulls and the bears. And so those of you who are thinking nothing's happening, it's boring, this has just been a sideways movement, you couldn't be more wrong. There are huge things that are happening right now for XRP's price that could start to help us get an understanding of what the future looks like for not only the next couple of days or weeks, but possibly even the next few months. And so with that in mind, if you do want to stay up to date even more with what is happening with XRP and when I'm deciding to buy, sell, long, short, and many more things, I want you to head down to the link below and go check out the school. Guys, at the school, we have a very simple task. We take crypto investors like yourselves and we give you the tools that you need to create real winning strategies. Because listen, a winning strategy is what creates a winning investor. It's not the other way around like most people think. And I define a winning investor as someone who is confident, someone who is consistent. And so if you want to see the things again that I'm trading, Connor Kinney's trading, Aaron Bennett's trading, what our coaches are doing, live shows, daily technical analysis, research, workshops, live streams, and much more, head to the link down below. And if you don't see growth within the first few hours, I will just give you your money back. That's how confident I am that you're going to really like it. So head to the link down below and do not forget that if you want to start trading some XRP today, you can use that link to BTCC. But overall, these are the three things that I believe are happening right now for XRP that I think are incredibly important that you need to be watching now. So as this does continue, I'll be here updating you all. So if you have been enjoying the videos, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.